Alright, so I was diagnosed on April 17th of 2013, so just a little over 2 years as of this past April. And so obviously I haven't had diabetes too long to be able to say that I'm an expert on anything or call myself a pro with handling it or anything along that line. But at the time, it was completely unexpected. I'm the only person in my family on either side to ever have had diabetes, regardless of whether type 1 or type 2. And so nobody in my family upon diagnosis really knew what to do. I didn't know what to do. I knew some people with it, or I knew of it, but I didn't really know what it was or how to handle it or anything like that. And I didn't contemplate and realize that this was a lifelong disease that I was going to have to live with. But I was a senior in high school when I was diagnosed. I was in the middle, actually just a little over halfway through my senior year, going into the spring spring semester, and I was a big runner in high school. I had big plans to run track in college. My lifelong dream was to become a professional runner. And so going into my senior season, my track coach and I had been working really hard on preparing everything and working in the off season to get prepared for the last haul, whatever you want to call it. And so the first few meets went so-so. I was completely off compared to where I left off at the end of my junior year. And so at first I just kind of thought it was a personal issue where I was just psyching myself out. I was just being too hard on myself, and it was more of a mental game than anything else. But this eventually dragged on for close to 2 months probably, and when we finally reached outdoor season, things still weren't improving. And so my coach kept visiting with me, asking, are you having problems outside of the sport that I need to know about? Like, is something bothering you? We didn't really know what the issue was. And so I started to blame myself even more because I felt like I was weak. I felt like I wasn't good enough anymore. I'd kind of just fallen off the track. And so it was kind of a low point for me because I didn't really know what to do. And so it finally got to the point where my coach sat me down one day and just said simply, "I think there's something more going on here. I want you to go get some blood tests done." And so I went to the hospital the following week, and they took blood, ran lab tests, the whole shebang, came back to find that my blood sugar was above 600, and so they immediately diagnosed me on the spot. And my mom breaks down in tears, and she's completely upset. And to me, I was just kind of speechless because I didn't really know how to take it. I didn't know if I should be upset or if I should be just casual about it. I didn't really know what was the appropriate response to something like that. And so I just sat there and kind of absorbed it. And then the next thing I know, I'm going to the university hospitals back home, and I'm having more blood tests done. I find out I have an A1C of 13.7, and so they were immediately telling me, this is representation of the amount of sugar buildup over the last 3 months. And so obviously something went real south here. And so we didn't really know what to make of it, but all we knew was that we needed to get things going right away. And so I was immediately shown how to check my blood sugar, how to give insulin shots, all that good stuff. And within 12 hours, 24 hours at most, I was already started on everything with doing Humalog shots and Novolog shots, having to count my carbs. And so it was a really frantic period of just information overload. But I kind of put my butt in gear as I only had 3 months before moving to college, and I knew I definitely did not want to continue to be on insulin shots for the rest of my life. And so I decided that my ultimate goal was to get a pump. And so I told my doctors and nurses that, and they basically told me flat out that that was going to be almost impossible, as there was no way a 3-month time gap was going to be enough to get all the classes and requirements done for an insulin pump. And so I basically took that and said, watch me. And so I took the classes. I got my blood sugar down back into a provable range under the 200s. I found out my carb to insulin ratio, and within 3 months I went from a 13.7 A1C to a 5.0 A1C, and I got switched over to an insulin pump before I moved to college. And ever since then, life has been so much more manageable, so much easier. Although obviously there's always diabetes-related stress in anybody's life every day, the struggles are a lot less frequent, and I have a lot less trouble with managing blood sugars. And I'm now going on strong on my soon-to-be third year diagnosed.